My name is Dominique Thompson and I'm a GP by background, a GP that has worked in universities for about 20 years. In that time I developed a special interest in mental health and I also became interested in eating disorders in particular, so I was part of the NICE Eating Disorders Guidelines Development Committee that produced the most recent guidance. I then got very involved with organisations like Universities UK in developing national guidance, and I'm now really pleased to be working with Epigeum on the toolkit. There is a real challenge for universities in that the students often present quite last minute, so they often present in crisis, and that's often because they're not aware of either the help that is available or that there is an issue that can be dealt with. They don't know that this is something that lots of people get perhaps, and that there is a way to manage the problem that they're having. So universities are having to deal with students in crisis needing help immediately, and they're having to manage much longer waiting lists, for example, for counselling services as a consequence of that. Institutions at the moment have a real challenge with trying to reach so many students from so many different backgrounds, from different cultures, different languages. A toolkit like this allows them to reach out to potentially thousands of students with a consistent message about safe ways to get help, when to get help, what help might be available, and also just to educate them about their well-being, as they might be coming from backgrounds and cultures where mental health is not something that's talked about. So for universities it will be a really relatively quick and easy way to get a lot of very relevant evidence-based information out to their student body. Online access to this kind of information is really important for students because unfortunately a lot of students want to feel and stay anonymous, and they're looking for confidential ways to get information without perhaps advertising that fact. So they can do this in the privacy of their own room or in the library, but they might be able to go on, dip in and out, of course, which is important to have things in bite-sized chunks, in a way where if they want to tell others and share that they're doing it, that's great, but if they don't and they feel anxious about doing that, they've also got an option. The great thing about being a member of the development group is that it gives you the opportunity to shape the programme, to make sure that it really is relevant for the students that you're seeing, that you deal with at the sharp end every day, to make sure that it covers some of those topics that perhaps more academic approaches wouldn't allow for or understand are necessary. So it really allows it to be timely, relevant, evidence-based, but really up to date for the student body right now. I think for me, one of the aspects that I've always worried about are actually the students that we don't see. So as a GP, I would see a lot of students about mental health, but in a way they weren't the ones that worried me. I worried about the ones that never came forward, that were too worried to come forward or didn't recognise that they had a problem. So the thing that excites me about the toolkit is that it's a way to reach those students, to really raise their awareness, let them know that there's help available, reassure them, and perhaps reach out to a few who might otherwise have ended up in crisis or in a tragic situation.